Yes, welcome to my high-end and frequency business podcast. My name is Lisette Lucas from the Netherlands, and I'm an international trained high-end success medium and a high-end and frequency business coach. Throughout my podcast series, I help ambitious, empathetic coaches who aim for high-end success, fulfillment, and ultimate life and business mastery. Absolutely living and thriving from their Stardust potential. I'll give you the tips, the tools, and energy shifts you need to shift to the next level of impact, abundance, freedom, and absolute energy joy. So I hope you're ready to shift with me. Let's go. Earthly dust versus stardust. How to get rid of earthly dust and reactivate your Stardust potential. Yes, a very warm welcome to High End and Frequency Business podcast number 38. Well, earthly dust, what is it? We're going to talk about it today. And what is your Stardust? Because that's something I use all the time, even in my own podcast deck. I created my own podcast deck, and you can see the Stardust over there on the back side of the cards when you're looking at the video at this moment. And of course, I'm going to share how you can reactivate your Stardust potential. Well, the word earthly dust, what is earthly dust? Well, that's a good question because it's a word that came forward when I was working with my own students, and I was working on, you can see yourself as an onion. We see the outside, but in an onion, when you slice it through the middle, you see those layers. And we can see ourselves and our energies, our frequencies as layers. So you see the outside, but under those layers, there's a lot of energy and frequency and dense energy hidden. And if you don't manifest at this moment in your life what you do want, in your business what you do want, well, I absolutely advise you to listen to podcast number 37 as well and download the free method that I share with you over there. But those layers, earthly dust of old programming, old patterns, old habits, is stuck between those layers. And I call it earthly dust because it's dense energy. It's heavy. And are you born with earthly dust? No, because you collected it while being here. And if you haven't learned in those younger years how to get rid of that dust, it builds and builds and builds layers of old dust that makes your energy more dense. Because as a high-end success medium, I train students to do the same. And I learn people how to work with frequencies and shift frequencies while having a business, a high-end business, whatever they prefer. But the most important part is that you get rid of the dust, those layers, those patterns, that old programming that doesn't serve you. Because if you've looked at the manifestation cycle, the manifestation loop, you can see that the programming, and even if you're doing reprogramming work, if you haven't get rid of the dust, the heavy, dense energy, you can keep programming and programming whatever you want, but it's not going to shift it. You need to get rid of the deepest layers of dust. And once you've deleted that, once you've like Shazammed that out of your system, then you can get to the core of who you truly are. And now you might wonder, okay, Lisette, who am I truly? Who am I really? Well, everybody in their core, at their core, are pure stardust, pure, authentic, shining, bright stardust. And we have infinite potential. So when we are born, before we are born, we are made of that high frequency of abundance, because in that stardust potential, there is already abundance. We are all looking for abundance outside there, looking at other people. But when you realize, okay, if I get rid of the dust, the earthly dust, those old layers, that old programming, those old habits, those old beliefs that isn't even mine, that those beliefs aren't most of the time yours, they are from somebody else, and you adapted it as your own, you have to clear it. You have to delete it. You have to transmute it. Yes, I have many different tools. I use tools. I've created tools. I've combined tools with the highest techniques in the world. By the way, the card that I have in my hand here is Shift Depression. Shift Depression, that's interesting. I just picked random one. Depression is low vibe, dense energy below the golden line. It's sadness. It's low vibe words you say to yourself and pictures you make in your head, and it's a pattern. But I'm not going too much into that. But when you shift that heavy frequency, whatever it is, whatever you're going through, or have whatever your story was, that's dust as well. When you keep carrying the frequencies and the energies of the old stories, I always say a story, and most of the time, the pain we went through, it all has that silver lining. So we don't need the heavy, dense, gray energy of that old story, but we want to keep that silver lining, the lessons, because from those lessons and through those lessons, we evolve as a soul. And with that silver lining, and when you're looking at the video, you see me touching the card and the golden line. Those low vibes are below the golden line. And you can take those silver linings above the golden line. And you can use that to shift your frequency. And in other podcasts, I explain more about this. But the most important thing for now is we all have that stardust potential. But why is not everybody using it? Why is not everybody using it and creating from that stardust potential and living in abundance? Because we live through those layers of earthly dust, those layers of onion, and we need to peel away those layers. We can put new programming on top, but then it's just, something changes a bit, but then always those emotions connected to those earthly dust layers will always take over. And I shared a post about this recently, about me already working as a public medium, and I was working in the UK, and I'm from the Netherlands, and working in English and working in front of a live audience. Done it many times before, but suddenly an old dust layer popped up. That little girl, that little Lisette, who was always shy, afraid to talk in front of audiences, started suddenly like almost shouting through the adult version of me. And the way she came forward, she started trembling. My voice started shaking, my knees started, and I thought, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. So I wanted to quit, really. I wanted to fly home. I wanted to cry. And what happened? I bumped into a layer of earthly dust connected to that little shy girl, at least the girl that thought she was shy. Because everybody always said, oh, Lisette, she's so shy. No, Lisette was only sensitive, highly sensitive, pure soul. And when they give you the label of sensitive, and when they give you the label of shy as a girl, it becomes your programming, because I believed I was shy, and shy girls don't stand in front of an audience. That's what happened at that moment. Like, oh my gosh, look at me. Why am I doing this? This isn't me. Oh, it was my soul. It was my soul, my Stardust Potential, who wanted to be there in the UK, who wanted to serve. And then the battle started between earthly dust and stardust. At that moment, earthly dust won. I kept on going, but my tutor at the moment said, Lisette, what happened to you? I don't know you like that. And I was like, no, fear got the best of me. And then I had to search. I had to search through those layers, and I found a way that resonated so deeply with who I truly am. And I started doing the work through those methods, and it worked. It started working. I noticed difference immediately, but I noticed difference after several months myself. But the most important shift came when, like, after doing the work for a year, I was working in the Netherlands in front of a live audience, doing a demonstration of mediumship, and my students came to me. They were sitting in front row and said, wow, Lisette, what happened to you? You were on fire. So powerful. What happened? And I was like, oh, really? Did you notice? And then I thought by myself, wow, I've been doing the work, the reprogramming work, working on that deleting, clearing that earthly dust. I had been doing that, I believe, for a year at that moment in time. And people started to notice. And even for myself, of course, when I'm standing in front of a live audience, it's one of the biggest fears, like globally. So it's okay to feel the fear and think like, okay, doing this to serve, that always helps me. But when my own students noticed something had changed through me, they couldn't even point really what happened, but they felt the overall energy shifted. So I stepped into my Stardust potential by doing the work. So maybe you can think yourself of examples in your life that you want to do something so badly. Maybe the business you have, the people you want to help, the people you want to serve, but something is happening inside of you that you think, not sure if I'm capable to do this. Who am I to serve so many people? And what if they see that there are some layers within me? I mean, everybody has to do the work throughout all their life. That's normal. But the biggest change starts to happen when you start to do the work and when you start clearing away the dust. So I want to invite you to think of an area in your life, in your business, that you want to change, want to shift. And you notice it by resistance. When you feel resistance in your body, in your throat, in your heart area, your stomach area, within you or around you, or maybe you start to feel fear, or you start noticing that you're making excuses like, I want this, but now's not the time, I'm busy, this is not the right moment, next week or next month, or, well, I have to wait until I get a certain amount of clients and then I'll do that. Yes, I know that because I've been there myself as well. So I know the excuses, I know how self-sabotaging works. I know how procrastination works. Yeah. I know how making up excuses, like, it really feels like a good excuse at the moment of time. Yeah. So look at your own behavior and notice the patterns that show up, because all those heavy, dense frequencies that you sense and feel brings forward a layer. And it's always your choice to step into that layer, to become curious, to become the detective of your own life and clear away the dust. Yeah, inside is power. So I'm inviting you to do the dusting. Well, I'm not good at cleaning the house, and I have somebody who helps me with that, but this kind of dusting is absolutely life and business changing, because when you take away the dust, that beautiful soul, that diamond, that pearl, whatever you visualize inside of you, that light, that flame, it can shine more bright than you can ever imagine. And with that light, you automatically pull in those new people who want to fly with you under your wings, so you can guide them, help them, support them in whatever way your expertise is needed in the world, in whatever way your soul craves and longs for. So if this sounds good to you, and if you're ready to reactivate your Stardust potential, please send me a DM with the word Stardust, and I'll put the information in the show notes as well at www.lisettelucas.com/B38. And I absolutely look forward to meeting you or seeing you again. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for watching. And please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss an episode. And if you know people, or if you see people struggling with their earthly dust, if they're going time and time through the same loops and cycles, send them please these podcasts or these videos, because you have no idea how much we can help each other by just giving that energy to somebody else. It's an act of kindness. It's an act of service. So yes, that would be awesome. And of course, you're helping me, but through the energy of giving, and you're giving to somebody else, you bring the energy back to yourself. So that's a loop as well. That's a high frequency loop. So again, thanks so much for listening or watching. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss an episode. And I want to leave you with, go for it. absolutely go for it. Step into the frequency of your Stardust potential in the most valuable soul-aligned way. Thanks so much for listening and looking forward to see you again. Bye for now. Bye. Thank you for listening to my High-End and Frequency Business podcast. My name is Lisette Lucas, and if you want to join my EnergyJoy world, please drop me a DM, and really looking forward to connect.